But what he's learned is that I've got to figure out a way to put this into action so I can get articles published, and that's what he's trying to do. The gatekeepers become those people that manage the special issues. You have to be very careful that these gatekeepers don't just push their approach to the topic. They're the best researchers in the field. I do about 3 special issues that I manage over a 3-year time period, maybe one a year, one every 18 months. And the hardest thing I have to do is make sure I don't call David and say, David, I need the paper on this. Okay? We just had one in our dynamics. And I had 3 or 4 of my good friends that said, I'd like to submit something. I said, go ahead, but I'm going to review it like it's just a normal article. And neither one of the 3 of them got in. They're still my friends. I'm trying to tell you changes. This is the most insidious thing that I've seen happen in research in the last 25 years. What am I talking about here? What's a journal list? You guys are the world leaders in journal lists. All the deans of business schools in Australia did what? Let's get together and rank all the journals in the world. And what we're going to say to our researchers, you got to get these A+ or 1+ and 1 articles, or what you write is no good. Every school, it's not as extensive as this, but every school has this list. What's wrong with the list?
It's just a list.
Well, it's just a list, but why is that a problem?
It's a perspective of the group who's...
Could it be a perspective of the dean?
Yeah.
He has a special thing. But how about, and Miriam's a good case here. Miriam's always a good case. I can pick on her. If Miriam were to be hired at my university, we have a list in the business school. We have a list in the management department. The list in the management department, 44% of it are OB or HRM journals. Peace Psych, Journal Applied Psychology, on and on and on and on. 44% of it. In her field, 1. Now, how is she going to be successful if she were having to come to my university and say, "Oh, I've been trained and I can do"? The chance of her hitting one journal that has a 10% hit rate is virtually nothing. The other person who's the middle of the road, not that good, has 44%. That's probably about 16 journals off of our list are for OB type people. Which of those 2 people have a better chance of succeeding? Does that say that Miriam's doing bad research? How long is Miriam going to put up with that? Not very long. What's the chances of Miriam being successful? Not very great. What's the chances of Miriam getting tenure or getting what we call permanent job and just giving up? Chances are very high. This is the biggest demotivator that I've ever seen. And on this list, I have A+ A journals. I have almost 100, so it's not like I don't do it. But to tell you this is the only thing that counts, there's an excellent article you should read called, "If it's in an A journal, is it an A article?" And the answer is, of course not. Are there really good articles in B-level journals and C-level journals? And the answer is, of course there are. They're for different populations. To show you how silly this is, at my university, this applied part that I told you we're not doing a good job in, the business people want us to do a good job in, the Harvard Business Review is a fairly well-known journal. It's not listed on our list of acceptable journals. Why? There's no methods in it, there's no statistics in it, there's no theory in it. How could it possibly be a good journal? And why can I guarantee it's a good journal? No doubt in my mind. How many people read the Harvard Business Review? They have 250,000 subscribers. How would you like to get your article in something where 250,000 business people saw it? I'd pay money to do that. Okay? But our list, your list, it's not on there. Now your list is on there because it's a census. The problem that you have here is kind of artificially coming up with what each one of them is worth, a C, a B, or a 1, 2, or 3, whatever it may be. What you should say to every person is, tell me where you're going to be researching, and let me tell you how I think that fits in the department or how it fits into your career. Where I publish today is totally different than when I published when I started. Totally different. They don't cross over at all. But I'm evaluated on what I published when I was 20 years old. Doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's a gigantic demotivator for people in the future. I was at a university that said, if it's not in one of these 3 journals in my field marketing, it's not research. But they were highly quantitative, highly method-driven things that I didn't do, and I kept saying, publishing 20 articles a year, and then, no, it's not in one of these 3 journals. It's stupid, but the whole field has been driven. There's the Financial Times. Have you picked up what the Financial Times has? Financial Times out of the UK has produced the 40 best journals in the world. How many do you think business schools are picking this up and saying, okay, here's what you need to publish? Now, if you don't publish in the American Economic Review, Econometrica, Political, these are the 3 journals you have to hit. Luckily, there's a couple of journals on there I might be able to publish on. Does that mean I'm a bum because I don't publish on their journals? The answer is no, I just don't write for those kind of journals. Everybody should do what they have a particular expertise in. My expertise is thinking about things. His expertise is testing it. Somebody else's expertise is, one of the most famous people in business research in the last 30 years is Michael Porter. None of us could argue that. Michael Porter is a very, very, very average economist. Ask any economist, they'll say he's pedantic. What did he do, though, that made him famous? And what did he do that made him such an important figure in economics? He took all the stuff that economics was talking about and translated it into English that somebody could understand, a language. Oh, is that what that was all about? Yeah, all these isoquant bars and isocost bars and the inflection points. We just kind of tune that out as a business person. You say, what are you really saying? Well, you got to price your product here. Okay, that's good. And that's what Michael Porter did. So what I'm saying here is, don't think you're going to get away from this. If you stay in Australia, this is your Bible. You have to follow this. Your university will follow it, your dean will follow it, your department will follow it. As you move into other schools, it may move away from this. I'm not overly upset about this because it at least includes everything. We're so ethnocentric in the United States, the only journals that we will rank are what? Yeah, journals that are published in the United States. And I go, gee, there's the Cambridge Economic Reviews. Should be pretty good, don't you think? What about, the stuff out of the Judge Institute? And they just say, oh no, I don't know anything about those. Those aren't good journals. And what they're really saying is, I don't read them, I don't publish them, and therefore they're not any good. You'll find if your department chair or somebody in your department publishes, all of a sudden it becomes a good journal. What they're doing though is they're taking this as a fact. These are facts, and they're not facts. It's like ranking cricket teams or ranking football teams. There's no fact to it whatsoever. Okay, let's move to air. What do you have to do?